In this episode, I want to share a simple exercise that'll help you get clarity on the action items that will help you achieve the priorities and goals that you set for this new year. It's an exercise that will also engage, inspire, and affirm your team members. A double win for any business owner. Ready to nail down a win on stage 6 of this year's Tour to Profit? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that while you should articulate the why and the what of your business, allowing others to weigh in on the how is important and impactful. That asking 3 simple questions can help uncover the answers to what needs to be different in your business this year, and that when you embrace and engage your team in this exercise, you'll find they'll welcome the changes rather than rejecting them. Here's my question for you this week. How are you going to make room for new changes in your business this year? Today we're on stage 6 of this year's Tour to Profit. It's already the first week of February, and we've covered some important topics already, including setting your big goals, creating your star network, defining your value proposition, and bringing your value proposition to life. If you're staying focused and riding along with me, you've already got a pretty good list of activities and action items in work this year. And now you're facing a big challenge for many business owners. How to best communicate your plan and assign action items in a way that inspires, motivates, and energizes your team members. Far too often, when new business plans are shared, they tend to look a lot like more work, rather than coming across as a welcomed and good thing. Which is why my question for you this week is, how are you going to make room for new changes in your business this year? Making new changes is hard work. It requires those in your business to let go of the way they've been doing things for years and be open to doing things differently. There's no easy button when it comes to making changes in your business. Everyone on your team is probably okay with changes that impact some other part of the business, but whatever you do, don't mess with how we do it today. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does. I can't tell you how many times I've asked team members of a business what needs to change, and they can't think of a single thing that involves anything they're doing today. If I push them, they'll bring up something that the sales team is doing or something that the owner is not doing, but they rarely bring up anything that they are involved with or they need to be doing differently. But as you know, if you continue to do the things that you're currently doing, you'll continue to get the results that you're currently getting. You've probably heard this as it relates to the definition of insanity, doing the same things and expecting a different result. This week, I want to give you a simple way to both engage your team in the next year's plan and get them on board with making the changes necessary to make next year's plan a reality. It's a simple exercise I call start, stop, or improve. In fact, it's so simple it hardly requires me to explain it. Yet it's one of the most powerful exercises you can use with your entire team. And without even trying, you'll have them actively participating in creating the change you need for this new year. Here's how it goes. Bring your entire team together and share with them your business plan or big goals for the new year. Ideally, as the business owner, you're starting with the why for your business, why you're doing what you're doing, why this is important to your customers or your community, why this matters to you and your entire team. Then, with everyone understanding your why, it's easier to share the what. What needs to be accomplished over the next planning period? What needs to change and what needs to be reconsidered? Don't give your team the how things need to be different. Let them come to this as part of this simple exercise. These what need to be accomplished things may be revenue growth goals or distribution channel expansion goals or production capability increase goals or overhead reduction goals. These what need to be changed or improved things may include improved customer satisfaction or improved safety performance or improved vendor relations. Whatever's on your list of priorities for this year, share them in detail with your team and help them understand why it matters. Then, once you've shared your list of priorities and goals, if you have them defined, with your team, ask them 3 specific questions. First, ask them, what do we need to start doing in order to make these priorities and goals a reality? On a flip chart or marker board, simply write down every idea that comes up. Don't debate, don't discuss, don't dismiss. Simply write down each idea, repeating it back to make sure you have it correct, and then ask, what else? Be patient. If there's silence, let the room fill with silence. Just wait for them to think and come up with the ideas. Don't add your thoughts. You get to edit the list later. But for this exercise, you're simply in listen and capture mode. As you gather a list of 7 to 10 or more ideas of things they think you should start doing, read the entire list to your team and ask if there's anything missing. Then ask them the second question. What do we need to stop doing to allow us to achieve these priorities and goals? Again, simply write down their ideas. Don't critique, don't dismiss. There may be times when someone will go off on a long story or simply get on a soapbox. If that happens, simply ask them to be specific with, what do we need to stop doing? As you get 6, 7, or 10 things on the list, read the list back to them and ask, what's missing? Once you've exhausted their ideas, you can move to the third question, which is, what are we currently doing, but we've got to improve in order to achieve the priorities and goals for this next year? This one may take a bit more discussion, and you may need to give them an idea of what you're looking for. I found that if you plant an idea or two in the improve category, then the team will take over and begin sharing more freely. As before, don't critique, don't criticize, don't blame or deny. Just simply write down their suggestions. You'd be surprised how engaged and enthusiastic your team will become when they realize that they're the ones defining the changes that need to be made in the business. My experience has been that if you're the one making the changes in how something's getting done, it's viewed as bad or disruptive. But if they're the ones declaring the change that needs to happen, it's viewed as positive or helpful. I'm not sure about you, but I'm okay to let go of being the decision maker on the how side of things, as long as the result we achieve is the what we're seeking or needing. This simple set of 3 questions will help you get to the changes that are needed without running headlong into the resistance of someone not wanting to change. In the end, you'll have 3 solid lists of things that can be put into action items and assigned to an owner or a small team of owners. Give this a try and let me know how it goes. Schedule time this week to gather your team and ask them 3 questions. What should we start? What should we stop? And what should we improve? This start, stop, or improve exercise always seems to deliver great results, and hopefully it will for your business too. Good luck finishing this Stage 6 race. Do it, and you'll chalk up a win for sure. As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number 1, in order to make room for new changes, you often have to let go of some of the things you're doing today. Number 2, asking your team 3 simple questions can result in a strong list of things that should be addressed in your business. And number 3, don't try to figure everything out on your own. Leverage the experience and insight of your team members, and they'll feel like you respect and trust them. If you'd like some additional support as we ride this Tour de Profit race, or tap into our free resources, Simply go to my website, tourtoprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss Stage 7, your non-negotiables. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.